On the day of our wedding, the absence of my virgin blood led Alexander to publicly demote me from wife to concubine. I'll spare you from drowning out of past affection, he declared, but you'll wish you were dead. Forced to consume abortifacients, I became his vessel of lust. During his consummation night with Lucy, I was compelled to service them at bedside. His hatred manifested in endless torments. Emily, he'd snarl. This is the price for your impurity. Reborn. I knelt in blizzard for 3 days begging to annul our engagement. Chapter 1. The day I died dawned radiant. The physician said my will to live had extinguished. Alex's eyes burned crimson as he shook my limp form. Who permitted you to die? You haven't atoned. My coughs had long ceased. In my fading vision, even his fury seemed merciful, perhaps hastening my end. Even now you protect your lover? He demanded. Only then did I understand how Lucy and our stepmother had orchestrated my deflowering before marriage. When I'd tearfully explained this truth, Alex shoved me away. Lucy warned me of your lies. Whorish enough without slandering others? Lucy knew he'd never believe me. Bitter resolve flooded me. With final strength, I hissed, he surpasses you in every way, even bedchamber vigor. Enraged, Alex expelled the physician and tore my gown. You'll die beneath me. Emily. As he mounted my lifeless body, sunlight pierced the paper window. My last breath escaped. We'd been childhood sweethearts, Alex and I. Our wedding day was to be salvation. Yet everything shattered over blood-stained linen. Reborn. I drove a hairpin into my thigh. Agony confirmed the second chance. Despair and elation choked me until blood bubbled from lips. Rage crystallized. Rising unsteadily, I wiped blood from the desk. Today the Thompsons' visit marked the beginning of their schemes. Should fetch Lucy. Our stepmother's voice carried from the parlor. Though the girl's been unruly lately. Always gallivanting. I nodded to Maggie. The door creaked open, silencing the room. How improper of me to delay. I smiled coldly. The stepmother and Lucy sat beside Mrs. Thompson and Alex, a perfect tableau suggesting their own betrothal. The stepmother's composure faltered. You're prompt today. Greet Lady Thompson properly. Trembling, I approached Alex. Lady Thompson clasped my hands warmly, praising virtues her son would soon obliterate. Alex also smiled with genuine affection. Last month I hunted an excellent fox pelt in the mountains. With winter approaching, you should have it made into a muffler or gloves. I turned to meet Lucy's jealous glare with a sweet smile. Thank you ever so much, Alex. The entire capital knew Alex adored me beyond reason. After losing my mother at 2, I'd endured years of cautious survival under my stepmother's public flattery and private cruelty. The day I met Alex, I'd been kneeling under scorching sunlight as punishment for eating Lucy's favorite pastries. He'd quietly left an umbrella by my side while visiting my father. At the autumn banquet next month, his gaze softened with compassion. My father once doted on a concubine who taught me much about household intrigues. Should you need refuge, send for me. His words pierced through years of frozen solitude, thawing my heart until tears spilled over. Forgive me. I shouldn't have made you cry. Alex panicked, slapping his own cheeks in remorse. Through laughter and tears, I surrendered my heart to him in the golden twilight. How could I not resent him? He'd vowed to defy stifling traditions, promising undivided devotion and protection. We railed against my stepmother and Lucy together. Once we wed, he swore, you'll tower over them forever. To bolster my status, he lavished me with gifts under the Marquis's name, crafting my reputation as the perfect noble bride. Yet this same man entwined himself with my stepsister. Later I discovered Lucy received matching trinkets from every trip he took. In my final days of previous life, Lucy flaunted their moonlit trysts and garden dalliances. Sister. She crushed my hand under her shoe. Your virtuous gentleman sighs in relief whenever your purity gets mentioned. He's tired of acting. On our wedding day, crimson silks and joyful music lifted me skyward. My years of suffering ended, I'd gained a true home and loving husband. When Alex lifted my veil, I beamed through tears. Husband. The warm glow of red candles illuminated his awestruck face. Emily. Such beauty exists in this world? His trembling hands peeled away heavy bridal layers. I finally closed my eyes, trusting as I leaned against his chest. The dream shattered when he dragged me by the hair onto cold tiles. Alex brandished the white bridal cloth. Eyes bloodshot. Where's the bloodstain? Confused and sore, I clutched my wedding robes. Seeing that damning cloth, my heart grew cold inch by inch. I've never betrayed you. I've never even. His palm cracked across my face. Who was it? Emily? Fingers tightened around my throat as he shook me like a rag doll. Scream his name. He hurled me against the window, demanding answers through pain and humiliation. Between waves of agony, I begged for death. My husband found no proof of my virginity on our wedding night. I deserve death. Let me die. I beg you. For the sake of our past affection, grant me this final dignity to end myself. I'd never seen Alex like this before. He smiled cruelly. Die. Emily. I'll make you a whore despised by thousands. Your family name will be dragged through mud. You'll live in agony until you name your lover. True to his word. At dawn he had me bound and delivered to my father's house. Crowds gathered as the manor's matron forced me to kneel. The Johnson girl wasn't a virgin. The Thompsons demand justice. My father stumbled out, striking me blindly. Family disgrace. Disgrace. He clutched his chest dramatically. Do what you will with this shameful daughter. The Johnsons renounce her. Kneeling on the public street, I watched my childhood home discard me. Perhaps I shouldn't have survived past mother's death. Why endure daily humiliation? My stepmother emerged, sneering as she ushered the Thompson matron inside. After hours of negotiation, they demoted me to lowly concubine and sent Lucy to replace me. The Johnsons nearly bankrupted themselves preparing new dowry, their virtue preserved through Lucy's quiet wedding. On Lucy's arrival, guards bound my hands. The master's mercy allows you to serve their bed, stripped and tied to their marital post. I became their obscene spectacle. Oh, sister. Lucy cooed from Alex's embrace. How pathetic you look. Alex gripped her waist, murmuring against her neck, she's cold as timber in bed. Let her learn proper service from you, my true wife. Lucy giggled. You wicked man. Last month in the garden, you nearly wore me out. My world shattered. Last month? The garden? They ignored me. Alex's lips trailed down Lucy's body as their moans filled the chamber. I retched. I'd thought his marriage revenge for imagined betrayal. But their affair predated my own wedding. The man who vowed eternal love had been bedding Lucy all along. That night, my heart shredded itself. Tears soaked their crimson sheets as laughter and sobs tore from my throat. How I hated myself for trusting him. Hated fate for granting me no reprieve. Returning to my quarters, Maggie threw open my window, proudly displaying a fur pelt. Fine quality. Your mother had better ones before marrying down. Mother, last daughter of Jiangnan's prestigious Shi clan, died young after wedding our impoverished family. The Shurs disdained us until Alex touted my talents, then sent empty letters I ignored. Having endured lifetimes of betrayal, I'd learned not to hope. Thus the Johnsons thrived while I remained their shadow. My father saw no profit in me, detesting my mournful face. When crisis came, he sacrificed me without hesitation. The foxfur gifted by Alex felt warm to the touch, smooth and lustrous. Such fine things weren't meant for someone like me in the Johnson household. In my previous life, Lucy had shredded this very pelt before my eyes. tossing the fragments into the furnace. Some gutter trash still dares reach above their station. She'd sneered. Sister, the game isn't over yet. Back then, I hadn't understood her malice, not until I became a disgraced concubine while Lucy triumphantly married into the Marquis family. That hypocrite Alex clung to our childhood bond even as he complained about my cold demeanor like some mountain nun, using my lack of virginity as excuse after taking my innocence before their wedding. Your precious romance couldn't even withstand Mother's and my little scheme. Lucy had laughed. Only then did I realize what hellfire they'd thrust me into. This time, I'd personally deliver the fox fur to Lucy's chambers. Since they're so enamored with each other, I'll gladly play matchmaker. Of Mother's original servants, only Maggie's granddaughter Gracie remained my age. Summoning the girl, I stoked the bronze brazier until coals glowed crimson. Gracie, I said, tossing her family's indenture contracts on the table. I can't offer what others promised you, but I can guarantee you a clean death, one that won't implicate your parents. The color drained from her face as she collapsed, begging mercy. I spared no breath on hollow questions about loyalty. When Maggie yanked her hair toward the searing coals, I continued coldly, your brother's forced prostitution ring is known to me. Fail my task tomorrow, and magistrates will have your whole family beheaded. Handing her the fur, I instructed, tell Lucy you bring urgent news for her ears alone. When the room empties, use those skills the madam taught you on my dear sister. At my nod, a matron forced a wax-coated pill down Gracie's throat. Return successfully, and you'll get the antidote. Otherwise, I let the threat hang. Last life. Stepmother had paid handsomely to have Gracie stage my seduction while I lay drugged. Shouldn't such expensive skills be put to better use? I gambled Lucy would again shred the fur, this time releasing the potent narcotic I'd sewn within. As Gracie departed, my maid rushed in breathless, Miss. Alex is at the front hall. He claims someone means you harm. Begs you meet him urgently. No such encounter had occurred before. My fingers brushed the still tender scar on my thigh, my rebirth mark. The pain sharpened my focus. Decline, I ordered, watching Maggie arrange writing materials. Your temperament has changed, miss. The old woman observed suddenly, eyes glistening. This is good. My throat tightened. In that wretched former life, only Maggie had shown true care. Squeezing her work-roughened hand, I smiled bitterly. I once thought groveling might earn kindness. How foolish. Even with Gracie's family indentures. She betrayed me. People always trample those beneath to climb higher. I stroked the fox fur's silken strands. They should fear me instead. Alone. Desperate soul has nothing to lose, who wouldn't bleed when colliding with such recklessness? The maid returned panting moments later. Face ashen. Miss, he insists, her words died as shouting erupted beyond the courtyard walls. Miss. Sophia Davis is dead. She died in Lucy's courtyard with blood flowing from all orifices. Lucy still remains disoriented somehow. I exhaled slowly and nodded. Tomorrow we'll send someone to expose her brother's deeds at the magistrate's office. Oh, Sophie. I deceived you. Since you harmed me so cruelly, I'll make sure your entire family meets wretched ends. When father returned from his official duties, I'd already been kneeling in the corridor for 2 hours. He stormed over and kicked my shoulder. Why don't you just die? You wretch. Stepmother rushed forward weeping. Don't beat her. Master. Emily must have been upset by something Lucy or I did. That's why she harmed her own sister. Gripping the railing, I straightened my kneeling posture. Father. I'm willing to yield the Thompson family marriage to Lucy. Even stepmother's crocodile tears paused momentarily before she simpered. Emily knows Alex only wants her. Isn't this stabbing Lucy's weak spot? Her words cooled father's rage. After lifelong political maneuvering to reach the 5th-ranked position, this marriage represented his greatest hope. Though glancing at his weeping wife, he hardened his heart. Your sister hasn't stopped crying since waking. Kneel here until you repent. I ducked my head meekly. Kneeling mattered little, my real victory lay in stepmother's growing paranoia. The tutor who trained Sophie had been eliminated. Now with Sophie's death, she'd lie awake nightly wondering what instructions I gave during Lucy's half-hour unconsciousness. She dared not even consult physicians, fearing wagging tongues might endanger her true daughter. My lips curled faintly at the thought. Winter arrived abruptly with snow falling on my third night of punishment. Maggie brought charcoal braziers and warming pans. Though fully recovered, Lucy now played merrily. The household had forgotten me kneeling in ice. When father finally remembered, his anger had cooled. Just apologize. Your stubbornness displeases everyone. Unable to stand, I leaned on servants entering his study. The chill felt familiar, such days filled my previous life. Sipping hot tea, I finally released pent-up frost. Does father know Lucy has long fancied Alex? They meet secretly at every banquet. More slander? Clearly you need more kneeling. Without argument, I handed him thick documents. Aren't you curious how my maid died poisoned in Lucy's courtyard? Your precious daughter tried murdering me through bribed servants. Purchase records from apothecaries and signed confessions fluttered. Father's trembling hands dropped them into the brazier. Smoke curling ominously. Coughing behind my sleeve, I murmured, "Don't fear, father. I'm not here to accuse. The Thompsons are noble but politically neutral. How much could they truly aid your career?" As confusion wrinkled his brow, I leaned forward. "Let me try for the Crown Prince's faction instead." His teacup shattered. Father smacked his forehead in exasperation. "What nonsense! You still think you can become an imperial consort?" I lifted my head, revealing my fair complexion. What if I only want to be a noble consort? Even a minor concubine would suffice. Mr. Johnson froze. I knew he was calculating. Emily had long been promised to the Thompson family. Lucy, being the favored reckless darling, was too precious to sacrifice as royal cannon fodder. I smiled. What if I told you those burned documents were all forged? The study fell silent. Alex kept staring at me because of my striking beauty. My 3-day kneeling in snow proved resilience. Exposing stepmother and Lucy's schemes demonstrated cunning. Poisoning Sophie showed ruthlessness. Forging evidence to outmaneuver my own father revealed strategic brilliance. Would the Thompson heir even agree? Mr. Johnson fretted. Our family's rank is low. Your maternal relatives lack influence. I scoffed. How many secret garden meetings has he had with your daughter? Lucy's young and foolish. But is the great Alex also ignorant? If this leaks, you'll bang your head bloody on their imperial plaque. The Thompsons would panic faster than us. Stepmother rejoiced. Being Crown Prince's concubine seemed servile compared to marrying into aristocracy. How the Thompsons would choke on this half-cooked scheme wasn't my concern. Let stepmother deploy her tricks against them. After my previous rejection, Alex sent daily messages and begged audiences with father. When I finally agreed to meet, his eyes were bloodshot with dark circles. Emily, did they hurt you? He'd also been reborn. I motioned Maggie to guard the door before turning tearful eyes toward him. Biting my lip and limping slightly, I radiated silent anguish. They made you kneel again? Alex's concern overflowed. He produced a jade hairpin, the same one from our previous life's betrothal. This is my own carving. I'll propose immediately. I'll protect you forever. I pushed the box away indifferently. Which Emily calls me sister. My name ends with ly too. Shouldn't you address me properly? Alex stiffened. Emily, you're acting strange. Have you returned? I widened innocent eyes. Young Master Thompson, are you feverish? The room chilled as his gaze turned predatory, that familiar venomous look from our past life. Rising gracefully, I sighed mournfully. Alex, sometimes I wish whoever harmed me could taste their own poison. Thankfully, I'm still untouched. Emily, Alex shuddered, lunging to grab my hands. I subtly stepped back 2 paces. But he was overjoyed. Heaven won't tolerate our separation. Emily, this time I swear I won't fail you. His eyes darkened. After your death, that wretch grew restless. After 2 punishments, she confessed everything, how she plotted against you. Now I know I wronged you. Don't worry. She'll pay. When she's in our hands, do as you please. I feigned emotion, clutching my handkerchief. Alex, you must avenge me. The season's first grand event was the Johnson family's winter garden party. My stepmother, following father's orders, agreed to bring me but spent lavishly on Lucy's wardrobe instead. Too dull for me. She dismissed the tangerine gown to me. That pink's vulgar. She scoffed at another. The celadone's too cold. I clicked my tongue at the gaudy pile of dresses. Maggie asked about my attire. Gazing into the bronze mirror, I remembered my previous life's fleeting encounter with the crown prince. Back when Alex's cruelty became common gossip, even inspiring vulgar prints, I'd been forced to garden during the Marquis banquet. The prince paused near my raking form. Must you torment her so? He'd asked Alex. Your Highness. Alex sneered. Frontier women often ride astride. Virgin blood means little. Maggie repeated her question. The buttercup gown from last year. I decided. With the moonstone cloak. Yellow attracted attention. Knowing the prince's allergies, I replaced perfume sachets with dried citrus peel. My hair styled simply. I tucked 2 velvet blossoms behind my ears. Maggie tied my sash with tearful pride. Such beauty wasted on that Thompson boy. My smile froze. At departure, my stepfamily made me wait in the cold. Must you ride with us? Lucy sneered. I retreated. Separate carriages would cause talk. Don't you agree? The women grudgingly let me board. Inside, Lucy taunted, pity your mother's dead. Must be lonely. Old me would have hidden the pain. Now I slapped her twice. Speak of my mother again and we'll all miss the party. Their furious glares warmed me. The Johnson estate swarmed with liveried servants. My stepmother preened at the organized chaos. Remember this protocol, she told Lucy. You'll need it later. I walked through the gilded gates alone, my breath forming frosty determination. After winding through the covered walkways and gardens, I finally reached Crimson Snow Garden. Male guests gathered on one side of the ornamental lake. Female guests on the other. Twin gazebos stood on opposite shores where young aristocrats from prominent families congregated for poetry gatherings. The lake breeze carried voices across the water, allowing talents from inner chambers to gain recognition. In my past life, Alex would have been busiest during such occasions, helping me refine verses, adjust meter, and rally his circle to promote me. He built my reputation in this foreign world of privilege. Yet dragged me before the Johnson family gates the morning after our wedding, screaming about my impurity. He bound my limbs to prevent suicide, forced the Johnsons to demote me to servant status, then married Lucy solely to torment me. When he threw that stained wedding handkerchief at my face, sneering, "Look well, harlot," I transformed overnight from blushing bride to wanton seductress. Now I turned abruptly toward the plum grove. Scarlet blossoms glowed against snow with few footprints marring the path. I halted after several steps. Ahead stood a nobleman in violet robes. Jet hair crowned with white jade, his mere silhouette radiated intimidating authority. My breath caught. This was what I craved in this lifetime, power to crush these wolves beneath my heels. Become imperial consort? Empress? Let all kneel before me. Fail, and face execution for treason. Either outcome suited me. Will turned as I looked up, my hands full of fallen plum blossoms. Which family's daughter are you? He inquired. I curtsied perfectly and stepped aside. How unreasonable. His voice held mock indignation. Clearly I arrived first. Should I yield my path? Feigning alarm, I knelt in snow. Your humble subject Emily begs forgiveness for offending your highness. He waved dismissively. Why collect these blooms? To eat them? Meeting his gaze, I smiled. Mountain Family's simple recipes describe soaking plum petals with sandalwood powder to make dumpling wrappers. Each portion uses precisely 221 petals. I paused artfully. This common girl's mouth waters at the thought. Prince Will chuckled. My nose fails me in winter, food becomes tasteless. You've made me curious. Gather your petals. Rising, I combed the grove for perfect blossoms, incidentally pocketing a jade pendant from the snow. Within moments, Maggie found me with a hand warmer. Miss Lucy caused a scene. The maid rolled her eyes. Mr. Thompson slipped through thin ice at twin gazebos. Our dear second lady, screamed Alex. And dove in after him. Two fools flailing in freezing water, utterly shameless. I laughed, pressing the pendant into her hands. Deliver this to the Duchess. Say I found His Highness's lost treasure in the grove. As I strolled toward the banquet, whispers followed about the soaked lovers, about my mysterious smile, about how Emily's plum petal dumplings might tempt even a prince's numb palate. Oh my God! What kind of demon is that Emily? Dragged from the freezing pond and now barging into Alex's chamber to care for him? The Johnson family must be cursing their luck. Wasn't the young lord supposed to fancy the eldest Mitchell daughter? Which girl does it matter? For some petty fifth-rank official's family to climb the Thompson family tree, they'd send both daughters without blinking. I bet she'll start as the lowest-ranking concubine in the Crown Prince's palace. When the banquet finally ended, the stepmother and Lucy emerged. Lucy was bundled up like a mummy, deathly pale and leaning on servants. Yet she shot me a triumphant look through chattering teeth. Since I'm engaged to Alex now, sister better prepare a fat red envelope tomorrow. I remained silent. As I stepped toward the carriage, a Thompson maid approached. Miss Emily, you've recovered an important item. His Highness gifts this jade scepter to reward your discretion. She placed a vermilion lacquer box in Maggie's hands, glancing pointedly at the stepmother. We've sent good ginseng for the young mistress. The Marchioness regrets Miss Lucy cannot attend the winter banquets. Better rest thoroughly. The stepmother's forced smile froze as the maid departed. She practically dragged Lucy into the carriage. While Lucy recovered within days, Alex developed raging fever for weeks. The stepmother paraded Lucy daily to his sickbed until rumors spread about their undying devotion, how Lucy bravely jumped into icy waters for her beloved. The Thompsons began blocking Lucy's visits. Undeterred, the stepmother stormed their mansion. Your son flooded our house with gifts. Here's the engagement list. Now you deny my daughter who risked her life? I'll dash my brains on your gates if you dishonor us. Her screeching gave the Marchioness migraines until Alex awoke and sneered. Let the scheming bitch marry and then. Meanwhile, the Taylor family finally responded. Though distant relatives had forgotten my mother's branch, my letter about entering the Crown Prince's household brought two cousins north. Father even hired a former palace matron, crowing about both daughters marrying well. I sighed demurely. If only our family had a male heir. A brother could support us in court. Father grew thoughtful, his concubines never carried sons to term. Come spring, the Thompsons sent shabby wedding procession. Yet Lucy preened, demanding I arrange her trousseau. Aren't you crying over losing Alex? She taunted. I smoothed her crimson gown. Why cry over trash others fight for? You always loved scavenging my leftovers. Lucy. As she bristled, I gripped her jeweled shoulders. Mind your manners, dear. How else will you enjoy my wedding gift? This lifetime's early engagement meant their affair hadn't progressed. Tell me, Lucy, how well did Sophie learn those bedroom tricks from your mother? What exactly did she do in your chamber before dying? Without another word, Lucy's face turned deathly pale. I need my mother. Fetch mother immediately, she cried. But how could mother? Busy entertaining guests in the front hall. Possibly attend to this? The wedding matron knocked cheerfully. The auspicious hour has come. Time for the bride's departure. Lucy's marriage ended faster than it began. Before dawn, Alex dragged the bound girl back to her family's doorstep. Her drunken father and stepmother stumbled out, collapsing at the shocking sight. The Thompson family matron planted her hands on her hips and shouted. Perfect timing, Mr. Johnson. Your daughter wasn't a virgin on her wedding night. What kind of upbringing does your Johnson family provide? Lucy looked more wretched than I ever had in my past life, disheveled undergarments exposed. Face bearing 2 vivid slap marks. When her stepmother appeared, she shrieked, Mother! Save me! At least she had someone to beg. In my darkest moments, I'd had no one. The stepmother lunged forward, embracing Lucy. My poor child. This is all Emily's doing. That vile creature. The accusation struck my father like thunder. With one daughter ruined and the other destined for the Eastern Palace, he couldn't risk association. He strode forward and struck his wife. Foolish woman. Think of our family's standing. Turning to Alex, he blustered. How dare you slander our honor? You courted my daughter for months in our gardens. Who knows what liberties you took? Now you dare make false accusations? Leaning against the corridor pillar, I nearly applauded. Hot tears spilled unexpectedly. Maggie rushed to wipe them. Don't cry, dear. I shook my head, gesturing to the 20 female guards from the Taylor family behind me. I weep for them. As father finished his tirade, Alex smirked. Let's discuss this privately, Mr. Johnson. Spare yourself further embarrassment. His servants pushed past. Spotting me, Alex hurried over eagerly. Emily! I brought that wretch back. He yanked Lucy forward. I'll demote her to concubine. You'll remain my honored wife. Let's start anew. I'll treat you right this time. Ignoring him, I knelt to meet Lucy's hate-filled gaze. Satisfied? She spat. Seeing me humiliated as a lowly concubine? How could you be so cruel? We share the same father. I watched her tears fall, dark satisfaction uncoiling in my chest. This path was paved by you and your mother. Did you think only you could play this game? Lucy trembled violently. No. Sister. Please. Mother forced me. I can't return to that monster. You don't know what he does. Don't worry. I smiled coldly. The Taylors are sending father beautiful new concubines. Your mother will lose everything soon. Without her protection, you'll rot in that manor forever. Liar! I'll kill you! She lunged. I stepped back disdainfully. Behind me, Alex laughed triumphantly, turning to address my father. Since your second daughter has lost her virtue and can't become the proper wife of our household, we'll demote her to a lowly concubine. Mr. Johnson, let's set a good date for me to marry your eldest daughter. This struck my father's weak spot. He jumped up furiously. Deal with this disgrace however you want. Kill her. Flay her, I don't care. From now on, the Johnsons have no such daughter. But my eldest is personally chosen by His Highness the Crown Prince as his concubine. She'll enter the Eastern Palace next month. Alex's face darkened. He stormed over and grabbed father's collar. What? Repeat that. Where is Emily going? To the Eastern Palace. I don't believe it. Alex shoved father away and reached for me. Emily. They're forcing you. Aren't you? You love me. How could you go to the Eastern Palace? I didn't speak. Only cast a fragile glance backward. My guards immediately stepped forward and slapped Alex across the face. How dare you? By the crown prince's decree. You've overstepped. The slap stunned him. He'd come here so confidently, thinking me already his possession, never imagining I'd become part of the Eastern Palace, someone he must now kneel to. Impossible. Emily. If you don't marry me today, I'll cause a scene in the streets. I'll denounce you at the Eastern Palace. I'll make your whole family die. Fine. I lifted my gaze calmly. If half the Thompson family's 500 members perish, my Johnsons still profit. Let's perish together. Alex faltered, retreating 2 steps before raising his head wildly. I know you're being coerced. I'll find a way, wait for me. He fled with his entourage, dragging Lucy away. Stepmother screamed herself hoarse but couldn't keep her daughter. The next day, father convened the clan elders to expel Lucy from the family registry. When stepmother protested, she was confined to her chambers, publicly declared mad. Growing more bitter by the day, father lamented wasting half his life on these foolish women without producing a son. In anger, he took all the concubines I'd arranged for him. No heir is the greatest unfilial act. That venomous woman isn't fit to lick Sophie's feet. Visiting stepmother days later, I found her aged beyond recognition, hair half white. She lunged at me. You bitch! You killed my Lucy! I'll murder you! The maids restrained her as she wailed. Take it out on me! Sell me to brothels! Spare my daughter! I watched silently, struck by tragic fascination. Were my own mother alive, would she have fought for me like this? Would she have wept so desperately? Lucy's been demoted to concubine, I said. I hear Alex tortures her inventively daily. She's living death now. Perhaps I'd gone mad, finding twisted comfort in tormenting my enemy to glimpse the mother I never knew. Stepmother's hysteria filled me with perverse joy. Alex smuggled me a letter dripping with remorse. He claimed realizing his love only after my death in our past life, swore no other woman compared, and urged me to pack for our elopement in 3 days. I nearly laughed aloud. Who knew this two-faced schemer hid such romantic depths? Maggie. I instructed the maid. Tell the messenger I agree. 3 days hence coincides perfectly with my Eastern Palace debut. In my past life, I entrusted my entire existence to that man, like millions of women who believed marrying well was life's true purpose. How laughable. What did Alexander Thompson ever love about me? My beauty? My submissive obedience? My pliable nature that he could manipulate at will? Later it became mere spite. He thought this spineless creature should remain forever under his thumb. When my virtue was compromised with the perpetrator untraceable, his twisted nature found full release. Humiliating and brutalizing me brought him perverse pleasure. Even my death wish was denied. Power. Control. This time, I'll taste both. While Alex shivered in the winter woods beyond the city, I entered a modest sedan at sunset. We slipped through the side gate of Shenyang Palace's grand entrance, traversing endless cold corridors. The desolate silence contrasted sharply with my previous wedding procession to hell. Before my palace entry, the Taylor cousins delivered 10 carts of treasures to the emperor, declaring our family's gratitude for imperial favor. Everyone knew this was my armor. Though entering as a mere concubine, I carried tens of thousands in silver notes. 2 other Lianjuans entered the palace with me, both higher ranked. The crown prince remained occupied for weeks, visiting only the crown princess quarters, granddaughter of the Hanlin Academy chancellor. Her cultured refinement showed during morning greetings, no harsh words, let alone humiliation. Western Wing's Liang Yuanwei, youngest and chattiest, always dominated conversations. Sisters, have you heard the city's latest scandal? Her fan fluttered dramatically. The so-called romantic heir of Yingyang Manor? Married one day, demoting his bride to concubine the next. Now he's harassing the Johnsons daily, demanding they compensate him with another daughter. Several glances flickered my way. Liang Yuanwei continued obliviously, the Johnsons have 2 daughters. Besides the second, the crown princess cough halted her. Oh dear. My tongue runs wild again. Sister Emily. You're too gracious to mind. I slowly rotated my teacup, sipping silently. Better to let words fall than be seen as weak. Unfazed. Liang Yuanwei giggled, the Thompsons were already declining. With this disgraceful air. They're finished. That night brought unexpected company. Will Carter entered sniffing the air. Citrus peel? Refreshing. You've kept me waiting for those plum blossom dumplings. Emily. I barely knelt before he raised me. No grand ceremonies. Your tailor's tribute pleased His Majesty greatly. Nodding shyly. I shifted to block my desk. His curiosity prevailed, revealing my atrocious calligraphy. The Crown Prince, renowned for his masterful brushwork, stared. After stunned silence, he sighed, we start with grip techniques tonight. Thus began my secret tutelage under the heir apparent. No concubine duties. Just nightly practice till bedtime. Will proved decent, visiting all consorts equally. His fairness rivaled only by his calligraphy rigor. Wei Liangyuan was the first to conceive. Overjoyed, she distributed rewards throughout the Eastern Palace like a charity fairy. But her excessive flaunting backfired. Before 3 months passed, she miscarried. For imperial physicians thoroughly examined her, concluding it resulted from excessive young energy and yin depletion. When Will asked, "How did you manage it?" My embroidery needle never paused. Your Majesty, this humble servant is innocent. I hadn't even acted before she lost the royal descendant. The heavens preserved your Majesty's imperial grandson. I lack the capability to claim such credit. His dark eyes weighed me momentarily before he laughed. Quite silver-tongued. I lowered my gaze, resuming the auspicious cloud embroidery on the handkerchief. During her pregnancy, Wei developed peculiar cravings for steamed buns where fillings were concealed within dough. Her family procured a special tonic containing precisely measured ginseng. No one noticed the steaming baskets being boiled in ginseng-infused water daily. Proper dosage became overdose. Even successful delivery would have caused fatal postpartum hemorrhage from ginseng excess. My needle flew faster. Stitch chasing stitch. Wei's true mistake wasn't bullying this backgroundless concubine, but conceiving before the crown princess. Rushing toward death. That one. Our most benevolent-looking mistress possessed darker instincts than mine. Will mourned his lost child briefly before celebrating his legitimate heir's conception. Literally skipping from court sessions. When the crown princess delivered a prince that winter, I personally attended her postpartum care. Will questioned me, but I merely mentioned seeing his wife as my own sister. His subsequent investigation into my family hardships sparked genuine affection. Fresh from childbirth, Maggie sent news my stepmother had been provoked to death by father's concubine Gracie. Lucy's desperate letters from Marquis household finally reached home. Brandishing a kitchen knife, my stepmother rushed to rescue her daughter, only to encounter pregnant Gracie who delighted in detailing Lucy's sufferings. The years of confinement broke her, she collapsed from apoplexy and died within 2 days. I sighed at the letter. Inform Maggie to relay this to my dear sister. Let Lucy know she's truly orphaned now. Tell Gracie she may dispose of father after her child's birth. The year Will ascended the throne. I conceived again. Former consort Wei, now imperial concubine, was caught poisoning my prenatal tonic. Will raged at her long-standing bullying, banishing her to the cold palace. At my prince's full moon banquet, I encountered Alex again. The once gentle noble's eyes burned with betrayal. Rumors said he tortured Lucy obsessively, nearly losing his position through negligence. How fortunes reversed, I sat resplendent beside the emperor while officials cowed below. When my son turned 3, the vacant queenship sparked fierce competition after the ailing empress' death. I wrote the Taylor family, purchased military provisions for General Zhang's Northwest campaign with Jiangnan funds. Oh, and a minor detail finance Alex's introduction to rebel leader Prince William U. Every chess piece moved perfectly. Alex Thompson's obsession ran too deep. In his past life, when Shuangwen rebelled and nearly captured Yudu, if he had helped the Prince of Pingan seize the throne, wouldn't they have disposed of me at will? Since I was also a reborn soul, he cautiously waited until Shuangwen mobilized the Northwest Army before pledging allegiance. Alex smugly thought, this woman I've confined in the Marquis Manor couldn't possibly understand such matters of state. With my counsel, how could the Prince of Pingan not achieve greatness soon? Yet he never imagined that the first battle Shuangwen easily won in the Northwest in their previous life collapsed within 3 months. Will Carter rewarded merits by transferring the Sher family's direct descendants from the south to serve in Yudu. When I was in Feft as imperial consort and regent of the Phoenix Seal, I'd once envisioned this day making Alex kneel at my feet, groveling like a begging dog. But when it truly arrived, I realized granting him another audience would be beneath my dignity. On Ben Taylor's first day as Minister of Justice, he visited Alex, now utterly destitute after being paraded back to the capital, having endured mere scratches as his greatest suffering. Ben observed this arch-criminal, right-hand man of the rebel prince, then sighed, blood ties run deep, and his majesty remains benevolent. Ensure he doesn't die. Invent fresh torments daily for this Thompson scum. Let the realm witness the fate of tyrants' accomplices. It finally dawned on Alex. Frenzied, he lunged, that whore. Did that bitch order my torture? I treated her well. Ungrateful slut. Before Emily left his lips, guards sliced his tongue. The jailer fawned, forgive us, minister. His filth required silencing. Ben smiled. I'll report your initiative to Her Majesty. Oh, and I hear Mr. Thompson here fancies exotic male company. Let the inmates accommodate his tastes. Even in death, he'll expire beneath men. Gagged and bloodied, Alex shook his head futilely. Since I took charge of the harem, fewer incidents troubled the emperor, no more miscarriages, framed rivals, or maids beaten over petty jealousies. He often stays in my chambers, inhaling citrus fragrance. Emily, he murmured, when I first saw you plum-blossomed, I marveled at heaven's craftsmanship. Indeed, what man resists beauty? He loves my face, I cherish his bestowed power. Who cares how many bones fill these walls? Who questions the late empress' illness? The Phoenix Seal rests easy now. Even my lingering nightmares ceased. Truly, authority sustains.